Alabama at Georgia. Saturday, 7:30 Eastern kickoff. This game happened last year. It was a 5-tie classic.
Some point in your life, as a Bama fan, you have seen what success looks like. You have seen it in 2015 between the hedges. With Derrick Henry running through like a freight train. Coker and Ridley showing them why speed kills. And Marlon and Eddie reinforcing a strict no-fly zone. We etched our part in history with the rivalry last year.
It's picked up by Jahan Campbell. And the catch is made. It's Ryan Williams. Intercepted. Sabian Brown.
Success is coming to collect. It's payment again tomorrow. Let's go pay the price.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the Kalen DeBoer Show presented by Truckworks. I'm Chris Stewart, along with the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Coach, congratulations. Another classic Alabama-Georgia matchup, and for the 10th time in 11 meetings, a win for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, I couldn't be more proud of these guys. They just really put their mind to something and prepared the way they needed to prepare, got themselves, in the fight, and found a way to finish it. And so we knew it was going to be a 1 quarter, 2 quarter. We knew it would be a 4 quarter fist fight. And these guys just never let up. And it wasn't going to be pretty. It wasn't going to be perfect. But the main thing is that the mindset was that we were going to leave it all out on the football field.
You talk about resiliency. You talk about playing the next play. And nowhere was that more indicative than maybe your opening drive. About the 5th play of the game, give or take a couple, you got Ryan Williams wide open. Hits him in the hands, and it's a drop. And instead of it being, uh-oh, your team just continues the drive, chews up 15 roughly plays on that drive in an amazing way to get things going, to get on the board first.
Yeah, absolutely. Trusting that the next guy's going to go get it done. And, you want those plays, and, you can do one of two things, right? You can become timid, hesitant, or you can just keep fighting. And our guys just went back to work, kept executing, didn't focus on that, focus on the next play, everything you can control.
Your defense to force them into almost a 3-and-out. Got off the field on the first drive. I guess it was a 3-and-out. The next drive, you're able to get the ball back to your offense, and you score early in the second quarter to go 14-0. You know the game is far from over at that point. But tell me about the tone that it sets to have the success you did on both sides of the ball out of the gate.
No question. And one of the things we emphasize, and it's really important when you're on the road, is starting fast. And we didn't start fast early in the year, especially defensively. They've really made a point of it. And a lot of it just goes into being locked in, being confident, having great preparation. And they got the job done there. And then they finished it too. Got off the field when he needed to at the end.
Let's take a look at the first half highlights.
Just got it snapped. Simpson lets it rip. Catch made. Horton. First down inside the 25. Second and 13 now. Jeremy Bernard in the backfield. Now he motions out. Dogs bring pressure. Bernard's got it on the edge. And he's got some blockers. Jeremy Bernard, one of the best players on this football team. The former Husky weaves his way to a 1st and goal. Zipped across. Touchdown. There's Bernard out of the slot. And a marathon march. The Tide draw first blood between the hedges. Fake it to Miller on the run. Simpson launches end zone. Touchdown. Isaiah Horton. And the Crimson Tide. Unbelievably efficient start on the road here for this offense. Simpson on the move. He's going to keep it and score. Creative. Efficient. And Simpson says, hush now.
The Kalen DeBoer Show is brought to you by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. Coke Zero Sugar. Tackle game day with a great taste of Coke Zero Sugar.
Behind every victory is a team behind the team. A community of supporters and fans rallying others to succeed. We're a community of one when we cheer together. And no matter the outcome, we stand together. For more than 70 years, RJ Young has been that team, backing businesses, schools, and organizations across the Southeast. From locker rooms to boardrooms, in businesses large and small, we power your team to success.
There are no shortcuts on the road to success. It's forged by confidence, purpose, and determination. Everyone has potential. Few have the power to unlock it. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
I stand alone with fire inside. This heart's a drum, I won't subside. Against the odds, I'll rise again with passion burning in my veins.
Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Casino, where the action never stops. Hottest games, loosest spins, more ways to win. We've got the highest payouts and the most epic rewards. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. Wind Creek Casino. Find your winning moment.
Coach, you get the touchdown just before the end of the first half, and you're going to get the ball to begin the second half of play. Didn't get points, but seemed like a real tone setter for your squad there.
Yeah, that was one of those where going into the half, in that drive, first you're just trying to make sure that they don't get the ball when you're backed up in your own territory. We get the drive, find a way to get it in the end zone, and now you're thinking you're in a really good spot, doing some of the things that we've done in the last couple of weeks where that middle eight's really important and we can come back out. And yeah, you're right, we did move the ball down the field a little bit, took some time off the clock. It wasn't a 3 and out by any means. We didn't finish how we wanted, but there's certainly some execution things that we did well.
So as the game goes on, the way the first half went, if we told you 24 is going to get it done, probably wouldn't have believed it, but an amazing job defensively in the second half. But your offense also, Coach, may not have gotten points, but got drives and yards and time off the clock when they had to have it.
Yeah, there was a time or two where we flipped the field, did a nice job punting and getting them pinned deep, and that just helps your defense and changes the calls, and they still can get some first downs and really it doesn't affect you that much. And so it was team football. It was team football. We got the takeaway in as a team defensively, and we didn't give up any offensively, and that's really one of the identities of who we are. We win the turnover margin, and I'm just really proud again. We played that game, and had to play again, like you said, 24 points. Probably not what I would have imagined being enough to get it done, but it got the job done.
You get the stop deep in the red zone, and then you get to bleed the clock. Amazing. What your team, and I realize I left out a drive in between there, I'm sorry, but in that fourth quarter, you get that stop, and then you're able to bleed the clock at the end. Couldn't draw it up a whole lot better than that, could you?
Yeah, and we still didn't run the ball at times like I know we need to, and that drive though on first down, we got a couple good runs, 7-8 yards, and the second set of downs, I think we hit it for 4 or 5, and so those are good drive or series starters right there. Proud of the guys. Just going back to work, executing, playing each play like it's its own.
All right, let's take a look at those second half highlights.
The depth is depleted a bit. Huge hit delivered in the hole there. And that time the Tide stopped him for absolutely nothing. In 3, Cash Jones is in the game. It's a keeper for Stockton. Stockton slips inside of the tackler. He's spotted right near the marker. It's happening quickly. It's an enormous play. Cash Jones is going to be in behind the line. L.T. Overton makes a huge play for this Tide defense. Now 3 receivers to the left. Simpson flips it to the flat. Miller's got it, and he slides down at the 50 with a first down. Great call, well executed.
This is what Kalen DeBoer is. This kind of creativity offensively, toughness, going into battle back. This is what he's done everywhere he's been as a head coach. And this Alabama team was backed into a corner after a week 1 loss. They clearly have come together, and they have come out swinging. That's been on display tonight here in Athens.
Crimson Tide come between the hedges and beat Georgia again. And Kalen DeBoer is a big game coach. If you didn't know that, and you're an Alabama fan or SEC fan, he's now 7-1 in top 10 against top 10 opponents. 7-1.
This is who he is. This is who you hired.
Coach, sometimes we get lucky on the production end of things. We'd already lined up L.T. Overton to be our player feature, and son of a gun, he comes up with a huge 4th down stop. Turns out to be a key part of the game, but he's a massive part of your football team as a whole.
You talk about guys, and one of the qualities that I always really love about people is consistency. And consistent as a person, consistent as a player, and that is LT. And you know what you're getting every single day. You're going to get everything he's got. He just goes out there and goes to work. He don't say a lot. He's not this rah-rah guy. He hones in. He leads by example. But, man, he just, he's going to bring everything that you ask and then some. And so, getting that big play there at the end, I think that's just the epitome of who he is. He's a physical guy. He's got some twitch to him. He can get in the backfield. He can cause some problems. And we needed him on that play, and he got it done.
Did indeed. Tri-Green Equipment brings us our player feature each week, and this week it is indeed L.T. Overton.
Here's the football. It's on the deck. It's Bama ball. A takeaway. L.T. Overton.
My name is L.T. Overton. I'm from Milton, Georgia, and I went to Milton High School. I used to tell my mom, I want to hit somebody just like an Alabama football player when I grow up. And it was always just about being able to hit somebody, being able to release some anger, just striking. We had a D-line meeting, and that was us talking about how are we going to move about around the world, letting other people look at us. We want to walk in every room, on every football field, in any location you could think of, and know that this is the D-line coming through. Y'all better lock in. Let's go! I just feel like just having that opportunity to carry out just that little weight on our shoulders is an excitement just to be on the field, because it pushes us to make us want to go harder and harder, so we are supporting our guys at all times. I know being around all those national championship teams as a kid, especially when my dad was the assistant athletic director here, that had an impact on what made my decision on coming to transfer here, especially when you get older. You start to realize every college you go to is copying something that Alabama's doing. Playing for Coach DeBoer, he's gonna let you do you, but still make sure that you're fitting into the Alabama standard. The way he's mending things together now, it's gonna be one hell of a season. When I'm in that tunnel, all I could think about is me being that kid in the stands. Like, am I gonna be able to live up to that moment that I've always been dreaming of? One of the biggest goals for the season for me is just to be All-American. I see All-Americans on the Alabama wall every day. Even first round, I just want to be on that wall when I bring my kids here one day.
The Kalen DeBoer Show is brought to you by Coke Zero Sugar. Tackle game day with a great taste of Coke Zero Sugar.
march and drum, I won't subside. Against the odds, I'll rise again, with passion burning in my veins.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough.
Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Casino, where the action never stops. Hottest games, loosest spins, more ways to win. We've got the highest payouts and the most epic rewards. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. Wind Creek Casino. Find your winning moment.
Coach Jamarcus Shepard's a guy that came here with you to the University of Alabama. The energy guy and then some, but there's so much more to him than just that. Great teacher, great person, and his receiving core was great again tonight.
He's awesome to coach with. My 4th year with him, but I've known him for a long time. Tried hiring him back in 2014 actually, and he said no to me. But I was a coordinator at the time, but we've stayed in touch, and just watched him from afar over the years, realize how good of a coach he is, and it's been awesome having him here. The guys are going to be all about a mindset, you know, a physicality. You know, no one's perfect, but they're going to go out there and work to be the best they can be, and it all starts with what he brings. And he's got the passion. He doesn't just affect the receivers; he affects our whole team, and he's got some juice about him that everyone's aware of, and but as a person, he's as good as it comes. You know, just amazing integrity and character, and works his tail off to make our team better.
Let's go Red Diamond All Access with Bama's wide receivers coach Jamarcus Shepard.
Jamarcus Shepard, assistant head coach, co-offensive coordinator, and wide receiver coach at the University of Alabama. So we didn't hit the ground running really. It was a sprint, okay? I mean, we had to take off immediately and really understand the culture of really this program, and not just football, it's the whole university in and of itself. I think that's one of the best things about the University of Alabama. Everybody's bought in. Every single human being is bought in to making this the greatest experience that a student athlete could ever have. And that to me is what makes this place special. Some of these guys have taken on really elite leadership roles. I mean, when I look at, Jeremy Bernard and how he's really taken on a huge leadership role in the room. We say it frequently, but very infrequently are we able to actually produce it. We say, hey, bad teams, they don't have any leaders. You hear coaches say that all the time. We had no leadership this season, and that's why we didn't have such a good season. You hear it all the time, okay? Really good teams, the coaches lead at a high level. They can lead at a high level. To me, the most elite teams, they're player-led. The players lead it, okay? They push the envelope. They're saying, hey, get your shirt tucked in. They're saying, you better not show up to this meeting late. They're the ones leading at a high level. Not that the coaches all of a sudden sit back and kick our feet up and say, all right, y'all got it. No, we have to teach them how to be great leaders And that's what I think we're focusing on a ton in that receiver room right now. Ryan Williams, pushing him. But ultimately, last but not least, I think we're really pushing the envelope on just technique, okay? We have some really, really elite talent in the room. It's about, hey, we have to use the proper technique. We got to know the why behind everything that we're doing. And I think that part of it is what's going to be most impressive. And it may not be by the naked eye, but for the production of this offense, I think that that's going to really be impressive for this football team.
The Kalen DeBoer Show is brought to you by Coke Zero Sugar. Tackle game day with a great taste of Coke Zero Sugar.
Behind every victory is a team behind the team. A community of supporters and fans rallying others to succeed. We're a community of one when we cheer together. And no matter the outcome, we stand together. For more than 70 years, R.J. Young has been that team, backing businesses, schools, and organizations across the Southeast. From locker rooms to boardrooms, in businesses large and small, we power your team to success.
There are no shortcuts on the road to success. It's forged by confidence, purpose, and determination. Everyone has potential. Few have the power to unlock it. The University of Alabama, where legends are made.
Coach, our turning point is brought to us by CB&S Bank, and we thought we had it figured out several times during the game what the turning point was going to be, but give me one for you that stands out.
I think it's that fourth down stop in the fourth quarter there. It was early in the fourth quarter, but you know, with the game being 3 points, just holding them to nothing, you know, because they could take the field goal. They got some momentum. They've moved the ball down the field. You know, could be a touchdown. It could be a field goal at the very least. And for us to hold them and then turn it around, and offensively, we didn't score a touchdown or anything, but moved and got a couple first downs, punted it deep, and flipped the field back on them again. That little sequence right there was really big.
Good. And our turning point is brought to you by CB&S Bank.
The depth is depleted a bit. Huge hit delivered in the hole there, and that time the Tide stopped him for absolutely nothing. In 3, Cash Jones is in the game. It's a keeper for Stockton. Stockton slips inside of the tackler. He's spotted right near the marker. It's happening quickly. It's an enormous play. Cash Jones is going to be hit behind the line. L.T. Overton makes a huge play for this Tide defense, and they preserve the lead in the red zone.
What an effort to be able to make that play. And on that right side, L.T. Overton splits the 2 freshmen that we just talked about. Could have an impact down in that red zone area. How are they going to hold up? Well, here they are. 22's right here across from them. Splits them. Not fooled at all, but the tempo gets just enough on Cash Jones, who's usually a third down back.
The Kalen DeBoer Show is brought to you by Ford. Visit your local Ford dealer, proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide.
For 48 straight years, Ford F-Series have been the best-selling trucks in America. We got here by engineering breakthrough technology, redefining built Ford tough, and never settling for second best. But what's really made Ford F-Series the #1 selling trucks in America is you. Ford F-Series, built Ford tough.
Are you ready for your winning moment? Find it at Wind Creek Casino, where the action never stops. Hottest games, loosest spins, more ways to win. We've got the highest payouts and the most epic rewards. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner. Wind Creek Casino. Find your winning moment.
Coach, what's next is a Vanderbilt team that's just gone out and played terrific football really ever since we saw them in Nashville last year.
Yeah, it would be good to be back home and Bryant-Denny, and our guys are already, are focused on, yes, enjoying this moment right now, but we got to get back to work. And, we got a lot of respect for Coach Lee and his team, and, looking forward to the challenge ahead. We got a lot to take from this game. We got a lot to take from the last couple of weeks and what we put into it, but we know we still got a long ways to go.
Again, 2:30 Central kick, 11:30 is our airtime for radio on the network, and we look forward to seeing you in Tuscaloosa for Alabama to host Vanderbilt. But again, most importantly, Coach, congratulations again on the 24-21 victory tonight.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
For Coach Kalen DeBoer, I'm Chris Stewart. Thanks for joining us for the Kalen DeBoer Show, presented by Truckworks.
The Kalen DeBoer Show is brought to you by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. Coke Zero Sugar. Tackle game day with a great taste of Coke Zero Sugar.